For today, we are talking body paragraphs and incorporating evidence for your rhetorical analysis essay. Here's what I have open, so what you should have access to. First, I have notes, and for that, you will need to either open a document or have some notebook paper handy so you can record the notes and information from this. I have my sample essay that you have access to on my Weebly. And I have the one that you received a hard copy to in class that we used and annotated previously when we looked at the introduction. So that's what I've got going on and what you should have. So when we talk body paragraphs, remember that you've got several things that you're trying to do in your body paragraph. Step one is proving your claim. Whatever your thesis is, I want you to think of every single body paragraph as one piece of evidence that you are presenting to be able to prove that thesis. Just like that lawyer cannot win their case if they don't have evidence, you cannot argue a thesis if you don't have clear body paragraphs. So we're going to talk today at how we want to build those and how we want those to work together. We're going to talk about it in 5 parts, and you might remember from when we talked about our argument highway, we've already introduced some of those parts. Now we're just putting them in this type of argument. The first one we're going to talk about is your topic sentence, and that's kind of the road you're going to drive on. It keeps you focused. Your topic sentence should clearly state exactly what that one paragraph is going to be about. If your thesis is a big idea, your topic sentence is one small part of that idea. If you want to think about it as your assertion, what part of your big idea are you working to prove in this one paragraph? Every paragraph you have should have one. It should be the very first sentence of that paragraph. It might include some transitions, which we'll talk about later, but it's what's going to drive you and keep you focused. When you turn in your final copy, part of your job is going to be to highlight every topic sentence, and you want to do that to make sure each topic sentence is clear and focused. So I want to look for a second in my sample essay. We talked about the introduction before, so I'm going to go down here to a body paragraph that I have. When we're talking topic sentence, that is this right here. And if you want to pause me to look at the paragraph that you have access to and read it more in depth, please do that now. So when you take a look at that paragraph, you see that every single part of this paragraph is evidence about this main idea of people being right to be leery of undergoing this robotic surgery. That's my topic sentence. It's clear. It tells you everything that's going on in that body paragraph. The next part is, we called it our semi-truck. That's going to be your textual evidence. This is going to come from any article you've read or analyzed, or in this case, the thing that you viewed. It's going to be a quote or a paraphrase from the original source text. If you do not have the original source text, you don't have an argument. So when we look at my body paragraph, you can see my textual evidence is the information that I have in quotation marks. And this paragraph actually has 2. There's one, and I have another one right down here. And again, you can pause me and take a minute and read that more in depth, but those are the textual evidence that I'm using in my body paragraph. The next part is where we actually embed the quote. And on my website is linked a handout of signal phrases. These are basically the way that you incorporate the quote within the body paragraph. You don't want to ever just drop a quote in like you're doing a mic drop and expect your reader to follow its context and why you're using it. You have to give us the context. We have to know why this person is relevant, what's going on. So if we look back in my essay, my embedding the quote and explaining the quote is this information right here. And again, you can pause me and read what it's saying. And because I had 2 quotes, I have to do embedding the quote twice, once for each quotation. And again, You can pause and read to get the idea of what that looks like. Back to step 4. This is my citation. Those of you who've asked about in-text citations, this is where we get that. The citation serves the purpose of giving credit to the original source of your information. If your reader then wants to follow up or double check the information or find out even more about the topic, they know where to look. It's called a parenthetical citation because it goes in parentheses to provide a citation in the text. So what it will look like in yours is after you give a quote, you're going to put parentheses, the title of the documentary you viewed, and the timestamp. If I was doing a text instead of a documentary, like a journal article or something like that, I do parentheses with the author's last name and the page number. So when you go and look at mine, here are my in-text citations. Because mine was a text and not a documentary, I'm using the author's last name and the page number. It shows my reader exactly where to find that information. That brings us to our last step. And this is where you're using that sports car. That is your commentary or extension. This is your own analysis, and this is crucial. Your reader cannot assume what you mean or what you are arguing with your evidence. You have to explain it to them. You must explain how this quote or evidence you present actually proves what it is you are claiming. You cannot expect your reader to make that connection for you. One important point with this is to think about the 70-30 rule. 70% of your paper should be your own words, and that leaves 30% to be quotes. So keep that in mind when you are quoting and paraphrasing, and quote carefully. If you quote something that takes 3 lines to type, that means you now need 7 lines of your own commentary in order to make sure you're doing the analysis. So when I come back here in mine, basically everything I have left that I have not highlighted is my commentary, putting my spin on it. I've taken the information that the article provides, and now I'm making my argument about it. Hopefully that helps clarify for you. You have the hard copy of the one we used in class as well. I would encourage you to go through at least one of the body paragraphs in that sample and go through it and do the exact same thing. Highlight and color code. Where is their topic sentence? Where is their evidence? Where have they embedded the quote? Where is their citation? And how do they provide the commentary? These mentors will hopefully help you. And as always, if you have questions, let me know and bring them to me.